So here we are going to be starting our webinar, Winning Through Facebook Ads for Food Businesses. And I'm assuming that a lot of you here are interested to know about Facebook ads specifically for food businesses. Tama ba yon? Let me know in the chat there. Okay. All right. And this is winning through Facebook ads for food business. So this is a webinar for the World Food Expo, Spring Edition, in partnership with HiCaps Marketing Corporation. And thank you very much to HiCaps and to their team for inviting me to present this webinar for you guys. So go ahead and thank HiCaps muna in the chat there. Now, for today's discussion, as announced or as it was described earlier, we're going to talk about setting up your Facebook page to increase your know, like, and trust factors. We're also going to be setting up helping you set up your Facebook ads using the simplest method for success. So we're going to be doing some technical overview stuff here. Okay, don't worry because there's going to be a replay that you will get access to for this, and a sample campaign structure and targeting options for online food businesses. There's going to be a bonus case study presentation giveaway, but that's going to be given already after the webinar on how to convert food order inquiries into sales. So that is a successful case study that happened last year. Okay. So hi again, my name is LJ. I'm a Facebook marketing consultant, a ManyChat agency partner, and a messenger marketing expert. But before we proceed, I want to know, what is your food business ba? So most likely you guys here are food business owners. So I'd like to know, what is your food business? You can drop the name of your food business there, maybe where it's located, and maybe a link to your business as well. So let us know in the chat what your food business is, okay? Some examples of the food businesses that we are going to be talking about are: you may have a bakery or a bake shop, okay? You may have a restaurant. How about a cafe or coffee shop? Let me know if what type of business that you have. It can also be a fast food business, a commissary food business, or you're a dealer or a reseller of food products. It can also be a home-based food business, right? During this time, there's a lot of new food businesses that started from home, okay? So we have a few businesses from our audience here. So from food commissary, fruit preserves, home-based business, home bakers, um, cakes and pastries. All right, that's good. Thank you very much. Okay, now I'd like to ask you guys, what is the single biggest challenge in your food business right now? So for those who have businesses, for those who have food businesses, what is your single biggest challenge right now? Okay, aside from maybe the pandemic or what we are experiencing in the world right now, what is the single biggest challenge? All right. Jewel Wayne here says marketing, um, sales as well from Jackie. All right. Cakester has a home baker, cakes and pastries. Julie has a cakes and pastries business as well. From Brainerd, to market my business to large platforms. All right, all right. Yes, so a lot of people mostly have challenges when it comes to marketing, leads, and sales for their business. So the common challenges that I almost always encounter when I talk to food business owners is that either they have a problem with their menu and offer, so it either lacks a unique selling point, all right. And how about management and operations? So it can have some of them may have poor customer service, okay. And social media and marketing, no strategic plan and presence. So who here does social media and marketing for their food businesses? Do you have a strategic plan and presence ba? Or wala talaga kayong ganong plan? Talagang gusto na mag-post lang kayo na mag-post, including in groups, in your personal profiles, business pages, and wherever else. Okay, so let me know if you have a plan or not. But the challenge that we are going to be tackling today is mostly in the social media and marketing challenge in the strategic plan and presence. All right. So yes, I do see a few people who already have their own strategic plans, and for others who don't have any strategic plans yet. So we'll help you craft a plan here. Okay. Now for competition, who here has competition in their area of food business? So almost everyone, right? Hindi naman nawawala yung competition. It just means that you're not the only one who has a food business and can take great photos for social media. So when it comes to food businesses, you guys know that it's very visual, not just in photos or images, but mostly on videos as well, right? When you're presenting your creatives and your graphics and social media, people must be you have to be able to get the attention of your audience or of those people. All right. Okay. So how do we keep up? How do we keep up with the competition? So definitely not by watching the Kardashians. All right. You keep up through constant evolution, innovation, and implementation. And that's what we are going to be talking about today when it comes to social media. So that's why you have YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook logos there. But mostly, we're going to be talking about Facebook. Okay, let me just read some of your comments here. So, competition is so high since the pandemic. Yes, that is very true. No strategic plan yet. Don't worry, we'll help you with that. Okay. Now, traditional marketing. Traditional marketing, we said goodbye to that in 2020. Okay. So, moving forward, it's all going to be about digital. And even when we go back to the pandemic times or pre pandemic conditions, there will still be a lot of focus in digital. Okay. And marketing today, it is to strengthening your digital strategy, your online presence, and your technical skills. Okay. That's the importance of marketing right now, not just for you to have your own Facebook page or your business and whatnot, but you have to strengthen your digital strategy. You may have a strategy before, but now it is constantly changing and evolving, especially the different platforms, right? You need to have better online presence. Right now, you may just have 10,000 followers, but then you would like to increase that as well, okay? Because that will also lead to more reach and to more sales for your business and technical skills as well. So if you are a one-man team or if your business only has a few people, aside from you learning how to market your business online through social media, you also need to teach your staff because you can delegate these tasks to them. Okay. So there's really no way to go but digital. Okay. And if you, it's either that you go digital or you go home. Who agrees with that? We saw a big shift, especially during the pandemic, that everyone was trying to jump right away into digital, updating their Facebook pages, making sure that they have deliveries and whatnot, and making sure that they're able to take inquiries and orders online. So the process has shifted because most food businesses would have their physical locations, right? Now, especially in other areas, indoor dining is not allowed. So it's mostly just either takeouts or deliveries. So in some areas right now. Okay. So let's go to setting up your Facebook page to increase your know, like, and trust factors. Why are we focusing on these know, like, and trust factors? Because nga, you have competition. And for you to be able to stand out of your competition, you have to either address these know, like, and trust factors first and develop it with your audience, your current audience, maybe the old people, old audience who bought from you before, even during the before the pandemic, and your new audience, the ones that you have captured right now. Okay, so what are these know, like, and trust factors in your Facebook page? So, number one would be reviews. So, these are customer feedback and testimonials. Okay, I want to know in the chat if you have screenshots of those customer feedback and testimonials, whether they're from private message, whether they're from your Facebook inbox, or a text message maybe to your customer service number, or comments on your images or on your Facebook ads, or comments on your posts on your Facebook page. Let me know in the chat there. Because if you don't have any of those files right now, if you don't have any of those screenshots, then you better check those previous conversations that you have with your customers or contact them to get those reviews or those feedback. Okay, there is a feature in your Facebook page settings that you can turn on the reviews. Now, sometimes there would be abusers, people who would be abusing that, maybe competition who wants to ruin you. Okay, we've also experienced that as well with our clients. You have an option to turn that off, the reviews, and turn that off. Okay, and you create your own reviews album, reviews photo album, feedback album, testimonials album, or whatnot, and you upload your screenshots there. Okay, you can edit it and make it nice and make it really good for marketing purposes as well. Not just the plain screenshot and then you would just crop it and maybe hide the name. Make it beautiful. Okay, you can use a lot of editing apps, whether you're on mobile or on desktop or laptop. An example of that would be canva.com. Okay, so that's what we mostly use when we just design these graphics or creative. So reviews are important. That's why it's at the very first, and that's why it's at the very top. You need to establish credibility and authority as well, right? So we're talking about food-based businesses, so it will depend on how people will like the images, how people will like the taste, how people will like how it's delivered to them, or how they receive the product, right? So you need to get those reviews. Okay. So for those who don't have any feedback or testimonials in their files or in their Facebook pages, then I suggest that you do compile them and put them into an album, or you can contact your previous customers who have good feedback about your products, and then they should leave a review on your Facebook page, preferably a positive one, because it kind of changed right now. You can't do star reviews anymore, not 4 stars or not 5-star reviews. You have to either select if you are recommending or not recommending the Facebook page. So is that clear? That clear? Are you did you get that part about the reviews? Let me know in the chat, please. Okay, okay. Good, good. That's clear. Yes, I use Canva and have a standard template for the reviews I post. Okay, very good. Now let's go to legal papers. So for government compliance documents, so say for example, you have your own shop or your restaurant, right? So you are required to post or make visible those legal papers and government compliance documents. Same on your Facebook page, right? Because people may not be able to visit your physical location or your shop anymore, then you should make it visible on your Facebook page, whether that's an album as well, a photo album of your government papers or legalities and all of that, BTI, SEC, BIR, mayor's permit, business permit, and whatever else that you would normally post in a physical location store. Okay, just so that everything's clear on the audience's end or on the user's end that you are running a legitimate business. Okay, that's just what the legal papers are for. That also boosts your credibility and authority, especially if you've been in the business for a long time already. All right. Next would be responsiveness. So responsiveness is for replying to comments and messages promptly. Okay. So you will be earning a badge on your Facebook page if you are very responsive. Have you guys seen that? If you have your own Facebook pages and you are very responsive when it comes to replying to inbox messages, you will see that there is going to be a green badge saying that you are very responsive. All right. So achieve to get that badge, because if not, then Facebook will just show there that you most likely reply in a few hours or you mostly likely reply in a day. If you reply very fast, you'll see that green badge. Your responsiveness rate is going to go up. Facebook is going to show that it's going to be prominent on your Facebook page, saying that you reply in just a few minutes. Okay, so that would be a good indication if someone was going to contact your page. Maybe they don't have load to text or call, and maybe they just have data and they're just gonna message your page, and they're expecting, since your responsiveness rate is high, then most likely someone would be replying to that inquiry. Okay, and you have to reply to comments and messages promptly. If you don't reply to them yourselves in a quick manner, then have someone else do it, because you're going to lose the attention span of that person who is inquiring. They may be searching for similar stores or similar types of food businesses or similar types of Facebook pages selling that type of food. So you want to get their attention right away by replying to them. Okay, so from Brazil, 95% responsiveness rate, okay, according to Facebook. That's very good. Congratulations on that. Okay, so the top three, just to review, would be reviews, legal papers, and responsiveness. Our next one here would be your people. Okay, so to establish your know, like, and trust factors, if you do have staff, right? If you have employees, show behind the scenes action of the staff, whether they're preparing the orders for the day or maybe some snippets in Facebook stories of how the kitchen is preparing the meals or the food or the products as well, how it's being packed, how it's being, handed over to either a Grab driver or a Food Panda driver or something like that, to show that the business that you're running is really legitimate. Again, that increases the credibility and authority of your business on Facebook. Okay, next would be details. So the details section of your Facebook page is the about section. So make sure it's properly filled up. Fill it out as many as you can, especially on the category, the hours of operations. If there are any changes to your business, whether it's only pick up or it's only delivery and things like that, Facebook has made those options available at the start of the pandemic, actually, and you can check those options in your about section. You can write in your description on what the um, business is about. You can have your menu there, and you can also have your list of your products there. Okay, so there's a lot of things that you can put in your details section, in your about section, to make sure that if the types of people who are visiting your Facebook page are the ones who are researching, are the ones who like to read, and the ones who are really checking the details, they will be able to check your about section and that it's complete. Make sure you have your phone number or email there and website if applicable. Now for your Facebook shop, okay? So who here has already activated the Facebook shop of their Facebook page? If you are selling physical products, let me know. So Facebook just made this available to everyone actually since last year, and it's being rolled out to all accounts already. Let me know if you already have a Facebook shop activated for your Facebook page. If you are selling, physical goods. Okay, so Dell's has it. Very good. Who else? Who else has it? Let me know. Okay, so for Facebook Shop, it's really simple to set up. If you don't have a website, that's okay, because the setup of your Facebook Shop is that people would be inquiring via message on your Facebook page. So just make sure that you have nice quality photos. They're HD quality, okay? Not screenshots, not photos being downloaded from the web, because that's going to be really low quality, okay? Make sure it's always high quality, and also follow the proper format of Facebook. So the most platform friendly format of the images or the creatives would be in square. Okay, it's either 1,800 pixels by 1,800 pixels. Okay, just to make sure it's really in HD quality, and put the details of your product there as well. What the price is, and of course the delivery method or the fulfillment method, and how you are going to be uh, delivering or fulfilling that type of product when people order it. Okay, so showcase all of your available products there, so people will know what products you have. And if it's out of stock, make sure to remove it from your shop. Okay, all right, so here are some examples of Facebook pages who are in the food business niche. Okay, so I checked some of these Facebook pages and I'm going to give you some points of improvement. And you can check these Facebook pages later after the webinar. So we have Butter World Bake Shop. So I have both desktop and mobile view there. It's very important that both of that your Facebook page looks good on both mobile and desktop view. All right. And the next Facebook page that we have here is for Rose Bake Shop Butuan. Okay. Another one is Crumbs Cake Art Philippines, Bag of Beans Tagaytay, and we also have Ruena's Pasalubong Tagaytay. Okay. Now, observing these 5 sample Facebook pages in the food business niche, okay, so here are my improvements checklist, okay? So you can take notes, all right? And you can also audit your own Facebook page and see what needs improvement. So number one would be your cover photo and your video, okay? So it's either a cover photo or a cover video. It should be mobile optimized and contains relevant product and order information, okay? An example of that would be this cover video of Rowena's Pasalubong Tagaytay. You can play it later, but it really looks nice because it fits perfectly both on desktop and on mobile view. So even on desktop view on the left, there are like the green bars on the left and right side of the cover video because it fits perfectly on mobile. So even if it doesn't really fit 100% on desktop, as long as the mobile view looks really good, because almost 90% or more than 90% of people who will be looking at your Facebook page will be on mobile. Okay, not everyone has a laptop or a desktop, but almost everyone does have a phone these days. Okay, next would be the profile picture. So the profile picture, it's either going to be your business's logo, it has to be professional, it has to be nicely formatted in the circular logo. Okay, so say for example, this Facebook page again from Rowena's Pasalubong. All right, so if you check the Facebook profile photo here, the page's profile photo is in perfect it's formatted perfectly in the circular shape. So it's not there are no areas here that are being cut off because it fits perfectly in the circular shape. So there are some profile photos that I see and audit that it's not really fitting into the circular shape. So make sure that you are checking that as well, and the name and the username. So it must match consistently through all the channels. So avoid having numbers or dashes or underscores or periods in your name and username. Okay, make sure that it just matches and it's consistent through all channels. If you also have Instagram, that's better as well, and YouTube as well. Okay, for the Facebook shop, all right, upload all the products with complete and detailed descriptions and high quality photos. And for the about section, it has to be completely filled out of all information as much as you can. And then the reviews. So ask previous customers to leave a review, educate them how to do it. All right. Have a screen recording tutorial on how to go to the reviews page of your Facebook page, and then ask them to recommend it as yes, and then write their review there, write their comment there. Okay. That will boost your review numbers, your credibility in that area. All right. Next. Okay, next is the government papers. So just upload your government papers, your business papers in an organized album, all right? And then feedback and testimonials as well. Okay, so for feedback and testimonials, just upload screenshots of customer feedback and testimonial messages in an organized album. If there are people who have left bad feedback in the past, you can just turn off the review section and just do the photo album feedback, testimonials, and review strategy that I shared and mentioned. That's what most people do if there are people who are abusing the reviews tab, anonymous people leaving bad reviews and whatnot. Because if there are so many bad reviews on your page, there is a chance that Facebook will take it down. All right, because it's not contributing to a good user experience anymore. So one of the Facebook pages actually here in Davao was removed. One of the businesses here was removed because there was too many bad comments, bad reviews, bad experience about it. Okay, next, photo quality and sizes. So all photos must be in HD quality, newsfeed photos in square, stories photos in portrait, and rectangular photos are not recommended unless it would be the rectangular format would be mostly for videos. Okay, but videos these days, you can already edit them into square or into portrait format as well for stories. All right. For videos, yeah, similar with the images or photos, it must be in HD quality, and portrait size is recommended for a mobile first approach. Okay. You can also organize your videos as well. And lastly would be to reply to everything quickly. So all comments and messages must be replied to ASAP. All right. Set up your automated messages and away messages in your Facebook page inbox settings. Okay. So who here has set up their automated messages and their away messages? So let me know if you've already set that up. Do you know where to find that in your Facebook page inbox settings? So if you're a business owner, you're running your own Facebook page, then you can find that in your Facebook page inbox settings and set up your automated messages, your FAQs, and your away message. Say, for example, of course, that the business is closed from 9 p.m. until 5 a.m., something like that. So you would have to, set up those automatic messages and replies and provide an expectation, provide a timeline or a time frame on when you would be replying back to those people who have messaged your Facebook page during your off hours. All right. Okay, that's good. So you guys already have your automatic replies. Okay, so let's get ready to level up your digital marketing. Okay, so we're going to be using an example that we've also presented and used before in one of High Caps's webinar, using the Valentine's event or the Valentine's season event. Okay, all right. So first is that you have to identify what you are going to offer. All right. So most of you here, you already have your own products, you already have your own services, your food packages and stuff like that, right? Your sets, packages, or bundles, etc. You can also imagine this in the near seasonal event. The next one would be Mother's Day, right? So here is an example of a gift shop who is bundling in, different types of food products and chocolates and whatnot. That was for their Valentine's offer. All right. So make sure that you have already identified what you're going to offer. Okay, your current products plus any of the following that will be complementing your products. And you can partner with other businesses as well. All right. Some of these examples, maybe for Mother's Day as well, you would have teddy bear roses, heart balloons, chocolates, gift cards, heart cake, and heart necklace. Okay. So for a gift card, that can be like a Mother's Day card, something like that, right? Okay, next, once you already have your offer, you create your graphic and your catalog. Aside from a catalog, that can also be your menu. Okay, make sure that you have all of the details there, especially the price, because people will keep on asking HM. Okay, how much? Interested? Details, please, or whatever. So make sure that you have all of those details so you can redirect those people in that image or in that catalog or in that menu item. Okay, so you can use Canva for quick, easy, and user-friendly design creation, just like this one. Okay, that's an example. You have the types of products, you have the codes, you have the details, and you also have the price, right? Upload all of your graphics in an album. Okay, create an album for your product or offer if it's a specific seasonal event or it's for a specific promo for a specific month and stuff like that. Okay, create a PDF catalog as well aside from the photo graphics version. Okay, and then create short links for that Facebook album and PDF catalog for easy distribution. So when we say short links, all right, you have the if you're on desktop or laptop, you would have the link to your album, right? To your photo album on Facebook. Maybe let's say a Mother's Day photo album. And you have that very long link. So you don't want to keep on sending that very long link to people who are interested. So you can use a short link. Okay, you can go to bit.ly on your browser, and then you can create a short link there. Okay, so you can say bit.ly slash um, high caps Mother's Day promo, something like that. So it's easier to remember. Okay. And update your page as well. So if you have specific promos, especially for seasonal offers, monthly promos, discounts, sales, or whatever, update your Facebook page's cover photo or video that contains your offer because anyone who visits your Facebook page will first see the cover photo or the cover video. It has a big area, right? So you want to utilize that cover area that will have updated information about your business. Okay. And update your page's shop with the offer. So if you have your Facebook shop set up, or if not yet, then do set it up and update it with those items that you are going to be offering. And publish your offer post with all the complete details for easy redirection of interested buyers. And you can also pin that post on your Facebook page. So, people who will be going to your Facebook page will always see it at the top. All right. Make sure that you're creating that single post and you're going to be uploading those images there, whether those images are for your catalog or those specific products, that maybe the best selling products that you have. Make sure that you have the details for the link, the catalog link, the Facebook album link, delivery information, modes of payment, payment types, and your contact information as well, whether your website, your email, and your phone number as well. Okay? Right? So who here does that? They put all of the information in one post so that they can just redirect people in that post for anyone who keeps on asking the same information, or because you're going to have maybe a lot of inquiries about an offer and you just want to redirect people to that same post or to that one post that you created with all of that information already. Does anyone here does that or practice that? All right, let me know if you are. That's one of the best practices that I would recommend if you have a specific promo for a specific month, or a seasonal offer, or discounts, or maybe a new type of product or food that you are offering. All right. Now we're going to be setting up your Facebook ads using the simplest method for success. Okay. So this is already a recorded video on the technical matters of Facebook ads boosting. Okay. So this is the simplest method of Facebook ads boosting. You already have created your post, this one for example, and then you're going to be setting it up as a boost post option. So that's still creating your Facebook ad in the simplest method. Okay, in the simplest method. If you're just going to be using mobile or desktop, you don't want the technical method yet, then you can just use the simple method first. All right, so I'll be playing a recorded video on how to do it, and you can check the replay later on, and you can just pay attention to this one so you will be familiar with the setup of a Facebook ad boost post. Okay, so who has tried that, by the way? Who has tried boost post for your Facebook page, or who hasn't tried it yet but has already seen that feature of Facebook ads boost post? Let me know. Okay, before I do share this video. Okay, so Marian says, I do, but I also have made separate posts. Okay, that's good. You can use those separate posts as well for Facebook ads using this method. Anyone here who has tried the boost post button on your Facebook page? Facebook does keep on recommending to use it or giving you prompts on how to do it and things like that. Okay, Jackie has done the boosting. Dels has tried. Tina, they do use boost often. Resil, yes, they do try it. Okay, so you may already be familiar with this, but for those who are not yet familiar, then you can go ahead and try this first. We're also going to be presenting later on how to do the technical method of it, the more advanced one, if you want better use of your money and possibly better results. Okay, so I'll go ahead and play this video first. Okay, give me one moment to set it up here. All right, so I'll share this and okay. All right, so just pay attention, and if you have any questions or comments, just type it in the chat.
And the Gifts Davao Facebook page. And as you can see, that is the pinned post. Okay, so that is their Valentine's post for their Valentine's offer. And let's go ahead and just imagine for a bit that I also have the same post on my Facebook page. Okay, LJ said that's my Facebook page. So let's go to my Facebook page here. And as you can see, my pinned post is, or say rather, let's say that this is my pinned post. This was the banner or the graphic for today's event, right? So let's say that this was already the Valentine's post that is similar to here, and that's already pinned on my page. Now, when that's already published, and since I do have admin access, right, to my own page, of course, I can see the boost button here on the lower right corner. Okay, so that is like the default button that you will see on most of your Facebook page posts that is inviting you to boost the post or create it as an ad. All right, so that is going to be our segment here for setting up your Facebook ads using the simplest method for success. So don't get me wrong, there are people who find success in boosting posts on their Facebook page. It's just not a practice for me professionally for my international and local clients, but for solopreneurs or business owners, or your a food business owner and you're also the one handling the marketing of your business, then you can just click boost post here if you're on desktop. If you're on mobile, this is also available on your Facebook app or in on your Facebook app. All right. So click boost post here. Okay, and when you click boost post, it's going to bring you to this page. Now, this is where you will be setting up your boost post. We're not going to be publishing this right now, but I'm just going to show you how to set it up. Now, first of all, you have to make sure that you have the correct ad account here on the upper right corner. All right, your ad account, every personal Facebook account, similar to what I'm using right now, has an ad account. So, an ad account is what you use to create boost posts or Facebook ads. All right. So here, let's go one by one for these options. Now, for the goal, all right, currently it's set to automatic. So that's something new because before you would have the option on what you would like to, choose on what the goal is. But now Facebook is letting its AI or artificial intelligence do the work for you if you want automatic as an option. So as it says here, it lets Facebook select the most relevant goal based on your settings. All right. So here, I'm just going to go ahead and click change. So you'll see what are the other options. So if you don't have a website, you can just use get more messages. So you can click that here. Or if you want more engagement, say for example, reactions or comments or views or clicks or shares, then you would click get more engagement as the option. Now, for more advanced marketers or business owners, you can use Get More Leads, where you will be setting up a form to collect contact information from potential customers. Okay, so usually I just like to use Get More Messages because that's what I would like to get inquiries so that I can, um, you know, I can message back and forth those people who are interested in the Valentine's Day offer, and I can also follow up with them, okay, and answer any questions that they have. So I'll go ahead and click save after I have selected get more messages. All right, and you will see that there are a few other options here. Now, if you're just going to be selling, of course, food or maybe some physical products for Valentine's Day, you don't have to turn on the special ad category because this is mostly ads about social issues such as the economy or civil and social rights, elections, or political figures or campaigns. So mostly if it's, a food campaign, a food business campaign or ads, you're not really gonna get into that or you're not gonna be flagged for that. So you don't have to turn this on, okay? Now, when it comes to messaging apps, you can choose where you want people to message you. The most common that we use is Messenger. For other countries, they do have WhatsApp, and we also do have WhatsApp here in the Philippines, and you can also check that. But just make sure that your number is, associated with a WhatsApp account. Okay, so that would be the number as an example associated to a WhatsApp account if you want to set that up. But really, just the most common is Messenger, and that's the most, friendly option in our country today. The next thing that you should set up would be your welcome message. So let's go ahead and click edit here. And basically, all of the options that I'm showing you right now are also available on mobile. So you can even do it on your phone. Just, familiarize yourself with what I am explaining here so you can find the options if you're setting it up on mobile as well. All right. So for the greeting here, you can edit this greeting, of course. It just, the default here is just, it says, hi, please let us know how we can help you. All right. So that's very generic. You can just go ahead and change that to a friendlier tone, and you can say like, hi, this is LJ from gifts Philippines, or things like that, whatever the name of your Facebook page is, so that it will be more friendly and that people will think that when they message your page or click on your ad is that they are talking to a person, even though it's sort of automated, right? So you can say here like, hi, this is LJ from Gifts Philippines, and what would you like to order, or would you like to look at our catalog or our available Valentine's gift packages or things like that? And you can put in your short link there, your bit.ly link, or your short link, or your pretty link for your album, the album that you created for your Valentine's Day offers, or the catalog as well, a catalog that you could have uploaded to Google Drive, and then you got the short link or created a bit.ly link for that. Now, for the frequently asked options, so you have some of the pre-filled options already here by Facebook. So these are the default options. Question number one is, what are your delivery options? Question number two is, can you check the price of a product? And question number three is, can I make a purchase? So you can change all of that depending on what you want to put there, such as, say, for example, what would be the minimum order, or what are your available sets or packages or bundles? Is delivery free or things like that? So you must already have an idea on what your customers usually ask on your Facebook page. You can review your inbox, your page inbox, and then you can just put the top three questions here. There's not really an automated response here, unlike if you are setting it up the technical way, the option number two that we'll be discussing. Okay, so these are just, quick buttons that the users can click so that they will send the message to your page as a default message or template. Okay. And once you're done with all of that, you can just click save. I do suggest that you edit the defaults here and make it, very friendly and conversational, right? But here we're just gonna hit save as an example. Now for the audience, okay? So for the audience, if you are boosting posts, you do have limited audience targeting capabilities. So some of that include the defaults. So these are the defaults when you are boosting a post. So people who like your page. So people who have liked your page, say for example, you would have 1,000 people who like your page, then they would be targeted with your ad. They would see the ad. People who like your page and their friends. So that also expands your audience reach, right? So let's say, for example, I'm going to select people who like your page. Okay. On the right side, you will see the estimated daily results, also basing it on your budget. So our budget, the default here is 500. So it says that it will reach 285 to 823 people daily. And this is going to be for a campaign for 5 days, but we'll get to that in a moment, right? So, and we'll also try to select people who like your page and their friends. And let's see what happens there. Okay, so as you can see, the estimated daily results on the right side here, it increased to 1.1K to 3.2K because that already includes the friends of people who like your page and people in your local area. So this depends on the settings that you have on your page, as well as, of course, the location of your business or the address that you have put in your Facebook page, right? And you also have this slider here. So you can control the radius, and this is currently set up in miles. So it says here that I'm trying to target people who are in Davao City, 18 to 65 plus years old, within a 1 mile radius. And I can increase that as to however much I like, up to the maximum, right? So it depends on you, um, on how you want, or whatever the radius that you want for targeting. Now you can also select people you choose through targeting, right? So you can click that option and then you can click create new, okay? And you can give your audience a name, right? So let's go ahead and name it as Valentine's campaign audience, right? This is just a sample. For gender, you can either select all men or women, but mostly who gives, gifts on Valentine's Day. So you can select men, or it could also be women can also be seeing your ad, and they would also be tagging or commenting their or tagging their partners or husbands or boyfriends in the comment section. So those, male partners will be informed that this is what their female partner wants, or, whoever. For the age range, it depends on you if you want to adjust this maybe to people who can afford the products or services. It depends on, your audience, previous history of your audience's demographic or age as well, depending on your estimation. Now, for location, if you are not a national company or has branches all around the Philippines, I would suggest that you just focus on a local area or a specific area. So I'll use my example here. Okay, Davao City, and I'm just gonna reduce that. Okay, so the thing with boosting posts here is that there isn't an option, because if you're going to be using the option number two, the technical method, you can just target people really within the city without the 10-mile radius. So just people who are really living in the city, not people traveling, not people who are recently located or recently were in that area. So that's the difference between this option number one, which is boosting posts, and option number two, which is the technical method of setting up ads in Ads Manager. Okay, so the maximum here, or the minimum it's saying, is 10 miles, right? That's basically too far from downtown, but let's just go ahead and do that for um, you know, uh, sample purposes. Now, for detailed targeting, here you can click Browse if you're not familiar with this. So you can click Browse and you can check on specific demographics, interests. So these are combinations and behaviors. Okay, and more categories as well, but there's nothing here in more categories. So for demographics, we can try targeting people who are in a relationship status, right? So you can use married, in a relationship, engaged, domestic partnership, not of course, divorce, complicated, can be civil union, but we mostly don't use that relationship status here in the Philippines, but who knows, um, open relationship may be separated, single, unspecified, or widowed. Okay, so those would be some options that I can advise you to try. All right. Okay, so here, in detailed targeting, if you're using Boost Post, there's no option of narrowing down your audience based on different, layers. So all of these options are going to be an or option, not an and option. Okay, so it's either someone who is married or in a relationship or engaged or domestic partnership or civil union or open relationship. There's no and option. So married and in a relationship or married who likes flowers, something like that, right? So you can't really um, kind of like narrow it down. So let's try typing in Valentine's. All right, they could have interest in Valentine's Day, the 2010 film, Happy Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day. These are some interests, okay? And you can also maybe type in flowers, see what that is, some, gift items or ideas for Valentine's, and maybe, those people who want gifts are interested in those. All right, but I'll just use this as an example, and you can have like a lot of options there. Again, there's no narrowing. You can't really do a lot of and combinations. So these are mostly or combinations. And we can see that our potential reach is around 420,000 people. And it says here that our audience is defined. So we would always try to have this meter in the color green, because if it's in the red, so it's too few. And if it's in the yellow, it's too broad, or if it's in the red, it's too specific. So we just aim it to be in the green as Facebook suggests. And then we'll click on Save Audience. All right, so we're done with the audience. And for the duration, it depends on you on how many days you want. So when boosting posts, there's no option for you to have a campaign that is, continuously running. There would always be an end date. Okay, an end date for this. Otherwise, there will be an error if you don't set up an end date or the number of days of a duration. So let's go ahead and just leave it here as a default. You can change that as to how many days you want or the end date that you want as well. And you can also change the budget. I would just recommend to keep it at 50 per day minimum. So if it's 500, this is around going to be 100 per day, but that's not going to be how Facebook will spend it. It will spend 500 gradually in 5 days, depending on how it will generate the results for your campaign. All right, so I'll leave it at that. Again, you can change that based to your liking. Now let's go to the placements. All right, so for the placements, you can select if you want your ad to be seen on Instagram and Messenger as well. Okay, so I would just leave that at the default, because there are also some, people who are checking Instagram for, gift ideas or Valentine's Day gift ideas and offers. Messenger, not really that much, but, just keep it open in case someone would, be seeing the ad on their Messenger inbox. For the Facebook pixel, I would turn this off if there is no website or if you don't really know how to set this up yet. This is kind of technical. Again, it says here, create a Facebook pixel to measure results from your ads and understand actions people take on your website. So if you don't really have a website or don't have the technical specifications installed there for the Facebook pixel, then just turn it off. Okay, you can just take in orders and conversations from your Facebook page inbox. For the payment method, you have to make sure that you are adding a payment method, all right? So there are other options here. Just make sure that your location and currency is set to Philippine pesos or whatever, location or currency that you want. I advise to keep it local. And then add your payment method, a debit or a credit card, Visa, MasterCard, or American Express, or PayPal. So add credit. If you don't really have add credit, you didn't get a notification, you didn't get an email, please do not mess with that. Okay, so debit or credit card or just PayPal. So I'm not going to add that a payment method here. I'm just showing you how to set it up. The simplest method for success in setting up a Facebook ad, because a boost post is also considered as a Facebook ad. All right, and once you are done, you just have to click on Boost Post Now and then confirm the details of your Boost post, and it will go into the approval process, okay, the review process. And that will take 24 to 48 hours. You'll get a notification if your ad is approved, is scheduled, or is running, or if it is denied, and you will need to either appeal or you have to make some changes in the ad itself or the setup. All right, so that is how to set up your Facebook ads using the simplest method for success.
All right, so that is the video on how to set up your Facebook ads, the simplest method for success. So that's the boost post option. If you've already tried that before, does anyone have any questions about what was shown in the video earlier about how to set that up? You can always watch the replay naman on how to do that if you want to follow the step by step tutorial. And what I showed is in the desktop or the laptop view. You can also do that on mobile. There's just going to be a few differences if you're going to be setting that up on mobile because, of course, the screen options as well. And if you have any, because the option there or the example was for Valentine's because that was a previous video, then you can just tailor fit the interests and the demographics and the targeting options to your current offer, whether maybe it's for some type of Chinese food, whether it's for cakes or pastries. Then you can type in the interest list on a specific keyword and see if that can be targeted by Facebook. People who are interested in restaurants, people who are interested in deliveries, maybe, or in milk tea or whatever else on the category of your food business or of your product. Okay. Any other questions? From PJ, if you are on day 2 of boosting, can I still edit or make changes in the target audience? All right. Very good question. Facebook does not recommend making any changes once the ad is already published or it's already running. Okay. So if you want to make any changes on that, you either turn off or stop the current one and then make changes on the setup, set it up again as a boost post. Because if you're going to be making changes when it's already running. Technically, you can make changes. The edit option is available there, but that's not recommended by Facebook if it's already running. All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and answer questions later as well. So if you have more questions, just prepare them or put them in the chat. So now we're gonna be taking a look on how to set up your Facebook ads using the technical method. Okay, would you guys like to know how to set it up the technical method? Okay, so for those who are a bit techies here, or for those who want to explore advanced setup, advanced options when it comes to Facebook ads, you can level up your marketing and advertising on the platform. Would you like that, guys? Let me know in the chat if you are interested to start that video. Okay, that's also a recorded video for us to play, and that's how to set up the technical option of Facebook ads. Okay. Now, before we actually set that up, there are just a few requirements. Okay, there are a few requirements. So first, if you are going to be setting up Facebook ads the technical method, you need to have a business manager. Okay, a business manager. And that's going to be done under business.facebook.com. Okay, normal users or we'll be using just facebook.com. But if we're going to be using the business side of it in marketing and advertising, then we use business.facebook.com. And this is only available to set up in desktop or laptop. All right. There is a Facebook app for this, but it's not that friendly or intuitive versus if you're going to be using it on a desktop or a laptop. So you need to have a business manager, and you can create one at business.facebook.com if you don't have one yet. And if possible, you verify that business manager using your government documents and government papers as well. Okay. Next is that you need to have a Facebook page, whether you have admin, editor, or advertiser access, and an ad account with a valid payment method, as similar to what was shown in the previous video. Okay, so this is how your business manager will look like. The very basic of it is that you have one Facebook page one ad account that's connected to it that you will be using for Facebook ads, and the dashboard, which is just, shows you the assets that you have. So this is where you will compile your assets. If you have more than one Facebook page, you can also add it here. Okay, so now we're also going to be sharing this second video with you guys. Okay, so if it's still a bit blurry, just go ahead and kindly reconnect, please. All right.
Okay, so I've opened one of my ad accounts here under my business manager. All right, so this is just one of my spare ad accounts. So I'm going to create a campaign here. So we'll click the green create button, as you can see here. And if you're going to be doing this on business manager, you have to do it on a desktop or a laptop. Business manager isn't accessed well on mobile, and it's not recommended as well. So if you're going to be doing this, make sure you are on a desktop or a laptop. So we're going to click create here, and it's going to load the creation tool, and we're going to choose a campaign objective first. So we're going to select messages because we want to generate inquiries, and we can name our campaign here. So it's optional, but you can just go ahead and name it right now so you have the structure. All right, so we're also going to tackle the sample campaign structure and targeting options for online food business here. So this is the typical campaign structure of a Facebook ad campaign if it's done here in Business Manager. So the top level, you would have campaign, and under a campaign, you would have an ad set. So this determines your audience, placements, schedule, and spending. In the campaign level, this is where you set the campaign objective and budget optimization. And under an ad set would be the ad. So it contains all the ad creative settings. All right, so familiarize yourself with this structure. It's only 3 levels: the campaign, the ad set, and the ad. All right, here in the campaign, we'll just name this campaign as Valentine's Marketing Campaign. And for best practice, I usually include the date there. And then for the ad set, you can just go ahead and name it whatever you want. All right, I'm just doing this quickly for our demo. Then click continue once you're done. All right, so it will load up the window here on the right side, and it also shows you the campaign structure here on this window pane. So as you can see here at the top part, this is the campaign level, and then under that is the ad set level, and you can have more than one ad set. And under an ad set is going to be your ad, and you can have more than one ad under your ad set. All right. So let's go back to the first level, which is the campaign. Okay, so we're gonna input some of the settings that we did in the previous video of the boost post. Okay, so here in special ad categories, there's no category to select or declare here. Campaign details, just leave it at auction, and the campaign objective is messages. All right, there's gonna be no campaign spending limit, that's only optional. A/B test, just leave it like that first. Don't, mess with it right now because we're just showing you how to set up the technical method of Facebook ads the easiest and quickest possible way. And campaign budget optimization. So if you don't understand this, just make sure that it's off. All right, that's a bit technical. So let's go now to the ad set. So this is where we are going to be setting some of our audience and targeting options. Okay. So since this is a messages campaign objective, our ad type is going to be click to message. There is an option for sponsored message, but we'll keep it at click to message for now. For the messaging apps, you can choose the apps people may message you from. You can select Messenger, WhatsApp, or Instagram Direct. All right, so Instagram Direct is already available there as well as WhatsApp, but we'll just go ahead and keep it simple with Messenger. You can also select Instagram Direct, but make sure that you have your Instagram account connected. And we're going to have to select a page there. Gonna select my Facebook page as a sample here and the Instagram account as well. All right. Okay, for the daily budget, so here it would depend on sometimes your ad account on what's the minimum that you can set it to. So you can try and set it at 50. Sometimes or most of the time that was the lowest daily budget before. You can play around with it and maybe check out whatever the budget that you want to test. So as you can see here, it says if it's 48 pesos, your budget must be at least 48 pesos and 27 cents, or your ads may not deliver. Please increase your budget for this ad set. Okay, so to be safe, you can just do 50, or you can do 100 per day. All right, so let's set it at 100 per day. And as you are editing the settings here in your ad set, on the right, you will see the audience definition, which shows you the potential reach. Currently, it's at 79 million, but we'll narrow that down. And you also have the estimated daily results. This is going to be the reach, all right, on how many people will be reached. Estimated. So it's between 1.3K to 3.7K. All right, for the start date, you can go ahead and select the start date. If it's right now, you want to schedule the ad to run right away. Once it's approved, you can set it as the current time. Or if you want to set it at a later time, maybe 2 hours from now, 3 hours from now, or the next day, you can select the start date here. And if you want an end date, you will also just check that box and select the end date and the time here. But you can just, deselect that if you are running the ad continuously. Okay, under here in show more options, run ads all the time. It can actually be edited unless you're going to be using a lifetime budget. And using a lifetime budget is here under the budget. Okay, lifetime budget, there is going to be a required end date, all right? But yeah, for this purpose, we'll just use the daily budget. Okay. So I'll update the daily budget. Okay, I'm removing the end date. All right, so there might be a glitch as to why it's not updating. All right, so you just have to be patient with it. Remove the end date. Okay, so yeah, it's now updating again. Okay, right? So there are some glitches like that sometimes that you have to be patient with, and you just have to push through with making those changes until the changes kind of like click or it updates. So now under the audience, so you do have a couple of options here, and there's a lot of explanation and technical things to do with the audience when you are creating a new audience. If it's a custom audience, a lookalike audience, or a core audience, or a saved audience, there's so many options that you can create and choose from, and you can explore more of that in your ads manager. But right now we're just going to go ahead and select some of the default options that we used in the boost post video, and maybe some improvements as well. We're not going to be touching any of the custom audiences for now because for some people that can be quite technical. All right, so let's go first with locations. So locations, let's say you have a few more options here. As I mentioned before, Boost Post does have its limits. Okay, And if you're going to be using Ads Manager in your Business Manager, you will have these other options. So people living in or recently in this location, people living in this location, people recently in this location, or people traveling in this location. So most likely, if you're a local business and you're only targeting the locals in the area, of course, you will select people living in this location, right? A lot of people make the mistake and just leave it at the default, which is people living in or recently in this location. So I'm telling you now that you have to be careful and you have to be mindful of this option, right? And for example purposes, I'm just going to use Davao City here. You can just select that area and then just type it and then select this one. Okay, so as I mentioned before, sometimes it does, you know, give you a mile radius right away as a selection. So here the default was a 25-mile radius, and you do have other options there as well, a minimum of 10 and to increase it up to 50. And this is the option that I mentioned before when we set up the boost post, that it didn't have the boost post option, didn't have that. So you can have current city only, right? So instead of selecting cities within a radius, here that's already very big for us. Okay, there are some cities that 25 miles may still be okay because that they can still consider that downtown area, but here this is like already in other faraway cities. Okay, so we can just select current city only, and that will still give us a lot of people, all right, because we are a populated area here. It depends on your area as well. So as you can see on the right side, for our potential reach, it updated to 2.5 million people only, with estimated daily results with a reach of 874 to 2.5k people. All right, you do have other options as well. Say, for example, you've selected a city and you don't want that city to be targeted. You can click exclude. Say, for example, I will type out a city here. Okay, this is Tagum. And I can go ahead and click that to exclude that location so that people who are going to be targeted, who are supposed to be targeted there, will not be targeted. All right. And rarely, we exclude locations because we really just want to target people who are within a certain location. If you are specific in location targeting, and that's mostly applicable for local businesses, right? So I'll leave it at that. For the age, I'll make this around 25 to 50. All right, it really depends on your audience as well. This is just for example purposes. And then genders, okay, that depends on you. If your products are going to be most likely geared for men or women, or is it a gift for each or whatever. So I'll just leave it at all. And then for detailed targeting, okay, so here is where we can now narrow, all right, and we can also exclude people specifically who are not in our target audience of interest, demographics, or behaviors. So first, I'm going to include here people who are married. All right, the relationship status that we discussed earlier. All right, so I'm going to just type it here. Right, domestic partnership. Okay, union, civil union, in our relationship. Okay, that's a lot. So as you can see, it's really updating here on the right side for potential reach. And specify. Okay, we can also do open relationship. So there's a lot that you can choose from. You can even exclude maybe single or whatever, depending on how you are categorizing your target audience, based on maybe your previous customers or based on who are your ideal customers are. Okay, And so that's it for relationship status, okay? And we can also narrow the audience more, okay? So if you're going to be kind of making sense of it, your potential reach is 390,000 people, but your budget will only allow you to reach around 587 to 1.7k people. For you to be able to reach those 390,000 people of potential reach in your audience, it would take you like so many days, weeks, or months even to, fully reach those number of people. So you can narrow it down or you can increase your budget. So it really depends on that and what makes sense for you. Okay? So I'm gonna narrow this down to people who have a 4G and Wi Fi connection. All right? This is purely a marketer's judgment because I do not want people who are accessing Facebook via free data. They are not, if I was a business owner, um, most likely they would not be my potential clients, ideal clients, or even previous customers. So again, that is on a marketer's judgment point of view. And you can even test that. You can even include 3G here, or you cannot include the 4G or Wi-Fi. So it really depends on you. Okay. You can also still narrow this further. Okay, the potential reach is still around 260,000 people. So I'll narrow this further for people who may really like Valentine's, right? So Valentine's or Valentine's Day. All right, just be careful with your audience definition in your potential reach as you try to narrow the meter or the audience definition, kind of like gauge, will go lower or be more specific. So as you can see, we're in the red now and we want to stay in the green. Okay, so because that is the recommendation of Facebook, right? Okay. So here we have now 11,000 people, but since I'm thinking that, Valentine's is really more of like a national holiday or a season, and most likely a lot of people are going to be celebrating it, I would just, not really include Valentine's specific interests unless I'm really, really, really targeting, a very, very exclusive group of people. Okay, so I can actually just leave it at that, or I can just even have open targeting. So open targeting means that you don't really have any detailed targeting here aside from exclusions, right? Because you want to gauge on who's going to be seeing the ad, who's going to be tagging people, who's going to be sharing people. The people who saw the ad may not be the ideal clients or customers, but they have people in mind who may like that ad or product. So they can tag those people, or they can share the ad via Messenger, or share it into someone as as a message, or they can share it in a group. They can share it in their timeline. They can share it in their Facebook page or wherever else they want to share it. Okay. So that's it. We're going to be doing some exclusions. So usually we would just exclude these types of people. Okay, so these types of people, I'm just not gonna mention them, as you can already see what I'm typing and selecting there, and these types of people as well. Okay, so that's already best practice for Filipino marketers to exclude these demographics, interests, or behaviors. Okay. Right. So those are just some of them. Okay. Those are just really, kind of like our practice already since the beginning, because we have observed these types of people, or people who have these demographics are not really ideal clients or customers. That's really totally depending on your business. Okay. Now for the detailed targeting expansion, all right. We normally don't select that unless you may be trying to test it, but it has not yielded any good results based on our tests before. Okay, so that really just depends. It can reach people beyond your detailed targeting selections when it's likely to improve performance, and I haven't seen any improvement in the performance when we, select this or, test it out. Languages, you can just, select all of the languages or just leave it at that, unless maybe you're really in a specific area that has a specific language. Like, say, for example, here in Davao, I can just put it here as uh, Cebuano. But then, it's still a mix of people here in Davao, and, Tagalog or Filipino is normally understood. Show more options. You can just select all people for the connections there. You don't really have to touch a lot of things there. And you can actually save this audience for future use. Just make sure that you do, put an audience name. You name it and then you just click save, but I'll cancel that for now. For automatic placements, if you're really new, you just go ahead and select automatic placement, since that is Facebook's recommendation. And that's how the AI, or the artificial intelligence and machine learning works. They're going to find people who are most likely to respond in your ad. So they are going to place your ads in a lot of placements or areas within the Facebook environment. Now for optimization and delivery, so if you have the messages campaign objective, it will only have conversations as an option here, because that is what you want as well, to generate conversations, messages, and inquiries for your product or offer. Bid control, don't touch that if you're not really well versed in it, or not knowledgeable or technical about how that works. And when you get charged, impression and delivery type is standard. So all of those are mostly uneditable, and those are just, default, especially if you are using the messages campaign objective. All right, so we are done with the ad set. Now let's go to the ad itself, okay? Now, on the ad itself, you can create an ad from scratch. Okay, as you can see here in the ad setup, you can use a single image or a video or a carousel, and then you can add your own media here, media for an image or a video or a GIF. You will enter your primary text, your headline, and your description, and you can also create your own message template here. Message template is where you will set up your conversations, or your conversation starters, like the welcome message that I showed earlier, and then those FAQ options. All right. Under tracking here, if you don't really have a website, there's nothing to, set up here. All right. If you're just taking orders and conversations through your Facebook page, if you have a website but it's not really set up for Facebook ads yet, for the tracking of the pixel and whatnot, you don't really have to mess with it. Okay, so what we are gonna do is that you can set that up from scratch, but I'm just gonna go easy here, and I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to set up the ad. All right. Okay, so there is a specific option supposed to be that I'm gonna be selecting a previous post. Okay, but it's not showing up here. Okay, let me refresh if it would allow it. Right, so normally we call that setting it up as an ad using an existing post. Okay, so the one that we set up before was the boost post, and we're gonna be just using that post supposedly. If this works, we're just gonna use that post here. All right, but it's not showing that option. Okay, so there might be something happening here. All right, let me go ahead and select another ad account and see if the option is there first. out what the problem was. All right. So there are times when you just have to go back to your setup and really, check things why it's not showing up usually. If you've already experienced this before, then you would have an idea on what may be the problem. Now, because if we're going to go back here in the ad set, so I selected here Instagram Direct in the messaging apps. All right. So that's what caused the problem for me not to be able to select an existing post, because if the logic of that is that to create a new ad for both Messenger and Instagram Direct, but the post that I published before was direct to my Facebook page and not on both the Facebook page and Instagram account, right? So if we deselect Instagram Direct here, okay, and we go back to the ad level, right? So this is the ad level. We now see the ad setup area where we have an option to either create an ad or use an existing post. So this is what I was talking about earlier. All right. So just make sure that your Facebook page and Instagram account that you will be using are selected correctly. Okay. And the ad setup, again, as I mentioned, you can just create the ad from scratch and everything else that I discussed earlier. But we'll go ahead and click use existing post. Okay, so when you use the existing post, you have to select the post ID. Okay, so you can either enter the post ID directly here. All right, if you already know that, that's usually in the URL of the post on your Facebook page, right? Again, that's on your Facebook page, not on your personal account. All right, or you can click create a post here, create a new page post from scratch. Okay, or you can just select a post since we already have the post published on my Facebook page. So this is it, right? So I'll select that and I'll click continue. There are times when your Facebook page posts do not show up here. So it's best if you get already the post ID. So that will be in the URL of your post. So if it's a picture, or if your post contains a graphic of the photo, just click on the photo and then check the URL for the post ID. It's usually the last set of numbers. Same with the video. So I'll just go ahead and click continue. Okay. So as you can see, the preview area here turned on and it's showing me these previews here on the right side. So you can expand these previews so you will see how they look like. And there are other options here for mobile and desktop depending on the preview that you are checking and depending on your placement options as well. All right. For the call to action button, you can add a call to action button here, but basically the only other option here is to send a message because again, this is a messages campaign objective. So you can add that and this will add a button to your post. Okay, you can click on update post and that button will be added, but I'll just cancel it here. Okay, so if you do cancel that, if you don't add a button, you won't be able to set up the messages template. Okay, so let's go ahead and click select or add this button, the send message button. And then click update post. Right, so we can open up the message template area. So as you can see, the message template area is available now here. All right. And you have options here. You can create new or use an existing one, but if you don't have anything set up yet, you can just click create or select create new. And then you can select either start conversations, generate leads. This is technical, or advanced setup. This is also technical. So let's just go ahead and click on start conversations and then click create here. Okay, so this is what we also set up in the Boost post before, but if you are using Ads Manager, you will have an option to have an automated response. Okay, so here you have an option if it's text only, text and image, or text and video. Usually we just leave that at text only. You can do a combination of text and image maybe, but text and video requires, data for the video to load, or a large amount of data, so that can take time to load, and that wouldn't be good for the customer experience, really depending on the person who will be targeted. And then you can set up your text here. Again, make it friendly and conversational. Have maybe a name there so that they can associate who they are talking to, and they'd also be able to identify who they are talking to, even if it's really just an automated welcome message. For the customer actions, you do have options here if you want to set it up as frequently asked questions, quick replies, or a button. Most setups, we just use the frequently asked questions, and then we set up the questions here and the automated response as well. So bear in mind that there are character limits. So there are character limits for the text here and also for the questions. All right, so just don't make it too long. And then once you're done, you can just save the template here. But before you actually do that, you have to preview it in Messenger to make sure that everything is working fine and working well before you save and finish it and publish it, so that if you have any changes that you need to do or edits, you can already do it here, and you'd know what those changes to be. Is it spacing? Is it you're going to be adding emoji? Is the question too long? Is the automated response too long as well, or is it not formatted correctly, and things like that, right? So you have to pay attention to details here. But once you're already good, just go ahead and click save and finish. Okay, I would advise that you are also going to preview the ad. Okay, you have to preview the ad directly on your mobile device. So previewing the ad is only available on mobile. All right, it's not available on desktop view anymore. Okay, so just go ahead and click this button here, and then select send notification to Facebook, and open your Facebook account or your Facebook app on mobile, and there is a notification there that you have to tap, and it will say that your ad is ready to preview, or is ready for a preview, and then just go ahead and tap that, and then you'll see a preview of your ad on its estimated look on mobile. So of course it will still depend on what device you have. If you have iOS or if you have Android, the setup can be slightly different, or how the ad looks can be slightly different on different devices. All right, so if everything is well and good and you're already satisfied with how your ad looks and how it is set up, from the campaign level to the ad set level to the ad level, just make sure that you still give it 1 or 2 more passes to review everything, because once you do publish this, you do not make any edits. You do not make any edits, all right? So again, you do not make any edits. That is not best practice, all right? If you are going to be making edits, you have to duplicate the campaign and then do the edits there, and then publish again, and then turn off the current campaign, or the even though if the campaign that you just submitted is still in review, all right? So again, it's best practice that once you've already published an ad, even if it's still in review, even if it's not yet approved, or if it's already approved, you do not make any changes or edits unless it's, the budget. Just increasing or decreasing the budget, that's okay. But any other types of significant edits to the campaign, to the ad set, to the ad is not advisable. All right. So for me, on my end, I cannot publish this right now because I haven't added a valid payment method to the account. But once you've already added your valid payment method, okay, just click on publish, all right, and then just confirm it. And then it will publish, and it will head on to the review process, okay, to the approval process, and you'll get a notification once that is approved. All right, so that ends our walkthrough for Ads Manager, or the setting up your Facebook ads using the simplest method for success, which is the technical method, and then the sample campaign structure and targeting options for online food businesses as well. right? So the narrowing, as you can see, if it is compared to the previous setup, right, to the boost post setup or to the simple method, there's a lot of options that you can customize if you're using ads manager under business manager, not just the boost post option. And that's what I would also recommend for business owners, for entrepreneurs, and for food business owners, because you're the ones mostly here right now to use, so that you will know how to use it for your business.
All right, guys, that's it for that session on how to set up your Facebook ads using the technical method. Let's go ahead and answer some very, very quick questions before I head the presentation back to high caps before we proceed to our next slide. So, does anyone have any other questions about the technical setup? Anything that you'd like to clarify that was shown in the video? Again, obviously, that was for the Valentine's campaign before, but you can customize it to whatever type of campaign and messaging that you want, whether you have a new product or service, a new promo, a new product as well, or seasonal offers and things like that. So, anyone who has questions, you can type it now in the chat, and we're going to answer a few of them before I give it back to High Caps now. Does anyone have any questions about it? Was it too technical, ba? Okay, let me know if it was too technical. That was actually still the pretty easy setup of Facebook ads in the technical method. There's so many more things that we do in the back end. That was just a very basic campaign structure in setting up Facebook ads the technical way. All right. So Q&A is next, guys, and you can ask questions via audio, or you can also ask it via chat. We'll now allow you to unmute yourselves if you want to ask a question live via your audio or your video as well. So let me know on who has questions. I got one question here from Jackie. Do you recommend dark post ads? So we don't really use dark post ads anymore because we just use the existing post type as what was shown in the previous video. So dark post ads were the existing post ads before, where you just have to use the post IDs, and that's what just we use right now for the existing post create ad option. um, those types of posts, yes, I can recommend them if they have good engagement and if you are not really well versed yet in creating ads via Ads Manager. So that's what I would recommend. Using an existing post, like posting on your Facebook page first, and then setting it up as an existing post in Ads Manager so that the setup will be quicker. What I showed in the video was kind of long because I was explaining it step by step. But if you already have your Facebook page post that you want to set up as an ad on the back end of Ads Manager, then it will be very, very quick and easy for you. All right. Any other questions, guys? And thank you very much, by the way, for sticking with us until here right now. Okay, thank you, everyone. We're going to go ahead with the next slides. But if you have any more questions, just go ahead and type them. We're actually almost done with this right now. Okay. So Q&A, if you have any questions, just type it there. I'll address it towards the end of the presentation. All right. And here's the case study. So the case study will just be delivered via email. So this is a case study on how a startup food plus delivery business in Manila generated 1,600% return on ad spend in only 22 days. So what does that mean? So for every 1 peso that we spend in advertising money in Facebook ads, we get 16 pesos back. So that was very profitable. This was actually already pandemic time when we actually started the case study. Okay, and we were surprised with the results of that just by using Facebook ads alone. So that is a presentation that's going to be emailed to you as well. Okay, just make sure that you follow the instructions on how to get the case study. So just go to the website adsintensive.com/LJ bonus and then log into your Google account and then fill out the Google form by following the instructions. Okay, so we'll email this information to you as well after this or by tomorrow if you want to get the case study presentation. All right. So thank you very much, guys. And thank you as well to High Caps for inviting me in the World Food Expo Spring Edition to present to you this webinar on winning through Facebook ads for food businesses.
Hey guys, it's LJ again. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, please give us a like or a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It will really help the channel a lot. Also, please don't forget to share this video. Thanks and see you on the next one.